Slide Job Racing Podcast, brought to you by Oswego Family Chiropractic, the only podcast that reviews slide jobs. This is your host, Hunter. Today we're going to discuss slide jobs from last weekend, our top picks for this upcoming weekend. The World of Outlaws are at HUSET'S for $30,000 at the HUSET'S Speedway. They're also at Jackson for $50,000 to win. That's a whole weekend program, Thursday through Saturday. And the NASCAR is at Pocono Raceway for a doubleheader. We'll also wrap up and talk about the Steel Palace Minute. We might also sprinkle in some highlights from the SRX Racing Series. Let's slide over to our co-host Chase. How you doing today?
Pretty good, not bad. Enjoying the nice weather we've been having and ready to talk racing.
Awesome. What do you say we slide right over to last week's slide job?
Sounds good to me.
All right, well, we're going to jump into a All-Star Circuit of Champions race that was broadcast on Flow Racing. We had a battle between Justin Peck and Spencer Baston. Baston's running the car that Brett Marks was running in the beginning of the season. That Brett Marks actually jumped out of the car to run his own personal car. So Spencer Baston's in that car, and Justin Peck was on a tear. If you remember early in the season, he was doing really well. So let's see how he did tonight in this slide job. So Justin Peck and Baston were, for the last 5 laps, we're going sliding back and forth in this dust bowl of a track. I don't know what was going on in Ohio. They must have lost a freaking water truck, but I don't know, man. It's hard to even see in the broadcast. But so we had Justin Peck. Take this in mind. They're sliding each other for the last 5 laps, and the last turn, 1 lap to go, Justin Peck slides underneath Baston to get a run and slides up the track in front of Baston to get the lead. Then Baston tries to get him back on the outside, and Justin Peck ends up getting the win in the Dust Bowl in Ohio. Pretty exciting stuff there, and it's always cool to see Justin Peck to get the win, because he was doing so well earlier and he kind of died off a little bit. So it's good to see him get the win. Chase, where do you think the best slide job next weekend will be? We got HUSET'S, Jackson, or NASCAR at Pocono?
Ooh, I'm a little excited to see the Jackson Motorplex. I think it's going to be a fun one to watch, especially with the big money coming up, $50K to win. I think Jackson Motorplex will be my pick for the best slide job of the weekend.
No, that's not a bad pick. HUSET'S, so they race Monday night and Tuesday night. So on Monday night, the track really got rubbered up. It was the track was really good in the beginning of the night. It was really exciting, and then midway, I guess during the feature, it took a lot of rubber, so it was burning off a lot of tires. So I don't think there'd be too many slide job at HUSET'S, but I could be wrong. Maybe they'll change the track from Monday night. Well, Chase, what do you say we slide into last weekend's races?
Sure. We'll start off with the Thursday night race at 34 Raceway. Looks like our picks didn't go so hot with your pick of Donnie Schatz finishing 9th and my Wayne The Rock Johnson finishing 16th. Seemed like a fun race to watch, though. A lot of good passing, a lot of good racing. What was your input about that, Hunter?
Yeah, I mean, I think we should just pick Brad Sweet to win every weekend, because every time we don't pick him, he wins.
Yep.
Even though I guess the last 9 races he hasn't won, so he broke his 9-race losing streak. He was kind of on a bumpy run the last month or so. He got his 68th career win with the Outlaws. So overall, good race. Our pinks did not go so well. Brad Sweet started 3rd, got 1st. Not a ton of action going on. But yeah, so that was 34 Raceway on Thursday night. And then Friday night, they went over to the View Fairground Speedway, where Sharon Hildchild got the win in the green-white checkered finish.
Yeah, our guy, my main man, Hildchild.
Rewind. Actually, our main man, Donnie Schatz, got his 300 race win. At the View Speedway. He finally broke through and got his 300th win.
What just happened there? Oh, man.
Maybe we'll have to do some editing in this podcast. Maybe not, though. Totally threw you off guard there. Maybe I threw myself off guard. But Donnie Schatz got the win. He started 3rd place. He finally got his 300th win after a 38 race drought. His first career win was back in 1998. Let's see here. The first guys, during the race, the leaders, first and second, actually had a pit because of their tires. So Donnie Schatz was running 3rd where he started, and I think it was Davey Gravel and someone else had a pit for tires because their right rear tire was going flat because of the rough track conditions. But like I was saying, misspoke earlier. Sheldon Hildchild was my pick, and he got 4th. Your pick was
Also, Hunt and Child.
also Holland Child. He got fourth. So scratch the whole conversation with Holland Child winning. He definitely didn't win. Donnie Schatz won. What a time to mess that up on Donnie
Yeah.
Schatz's 300 win.
Yeah, so let's just hop on over to Beaver Dam Raceway. How about that?
Absolutely, let's slide over there.
Okay, because why are we going right over that? Because that's where Sheldon happened to win.
There we go.
So, but our picks also finished a little bit better than the 34 race. With you had Brad Sweet, like you said. We pick him. He comes in top 5, maybe top 20. He came in 4th. Then my pick, Logan Schuhart, came in 9th, which is not bad. Kind of a cool thing happened. There was no cautions through the whole race. I don't know how often that kind of happens. It seems like there's always at least one something going on, but that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, actually, the more impressive part of that is you might have just watched the feature race, but there was actually not a caution during the whole night of World Outlaw Racing.
Oh.
The whole night, during the heat races, during the dash, there was zero caution, which is really cool for the fans, too, right? Because sometimes some of the cautions, make it a little boring, but then again, some people like crashing. So, but definitely interesting. I don't know how many times it's happened, but zero cautions throughout the whole night. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I wonder how what the decrease in hot dog sales were.
Yeah, they couldn't have been good for the hot dog and beer sales, but
Yeah, Hottenshot officially tied Smiths as the winningest father-son duo in the World Outlaws history. That's pretty awesome. That they combined for 90 combined wins, and Sheldon's 18th plus his father's 72. Not bad.
yeah, not too shabby at all. That's it's because Child. Sheldon. Is still young and ambitious and still full send all the time. So I'm sure he'll get many more wins and they'll take over the Smiths. Their 90 number right there. Well, Chase, Monday evening they race at the HUSET'S Speedway, where David Gravel got the win, and we both went full chips in on David Gravel, and we both selected the right winner. It was actually a really exciting race. David Gravel, he's had a lot of laps there. His car owner does own Hudson, so they have some knowledge on the track, so he had a little bit of advantage. He's won a couple races there already this year. It was a good race though. David Gravel and Donnie Schatz it was actually interesting to watch. I know they started where they finished 1-2, but Schatz was really gaining on him, and Schatz actually might have made the move a little bit early. He probably went to pass him a lap with five laps to go, and it kind of showed Gravel, oh man, Schatz is right here. I got to really step up my game. If he would have waited till maybe the last lap and kind of spooked Gravel, I don't know if Gravel would have known he was there because they were dicing up through lap traffic. Schatz could have got his 301, but he didn't. Donnie Schatz ended up coming second. David Gravel got the win.
That's what kind of comes down to the race strategy. That's what maybe kind of figure out what would have been the best strategy there. So maybe Shots kind of for the next race will understand. Hey, maybe I'll kind of wait till a little bit later to kind of come up on them. But
absolutely, one other note I noticed throughout the last couple of races is the Ford engines. So there's only 2 Ford engines in the whole field. You got Kerry Matson running the 14 car, which is Tony Stewart's car, and you got Donnie Schatz running the 15 car, which is kind of the more high-profile guy, if you want to say. But Kerry Matson has been just on a streak lately. He's been doing pretty well. Let's see where he's finished recently. He's got 3 top 3s in his last couple of finishes were 2 top 5s, a third place, a second place, a fourth place, a third place, a third place. So, man, the Fords are really heating up. Now that you got Shots breaking through the 300 win, watch out for the Fords. And it really will be interesting to see if the Ford engines start winning more. Will other people buy Fords? Will that be a thing? Now you got Chevy versus Ford in the 410 sprint cars, kind of like NASCAR. You have Chevy versus Fords and Toyotas. It'd be really cool to diversify a little bit and see how that works out.
yeah, I think that's kind of the chance, kind of the lower successful teams will kind of make. Change up the engine package, just try to make something different, maybe take a little bit of risk, but hey, it can pay off. It's paying off for these guys. Donnie Schatz and Kerry Madsen finished second and third in that last race, so clearly they're figuring their stuff out. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see some of the newer teams or lower end teams make the switch over to Ford.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see. Let's see what the price points are and see what goes forward. And maybe Ford is going to wait a couple more years to break it out. And maybe they're still not totally confident in it, but they're definitely figuring something out. And now that they've lost, now they're not just focused on getting Donnie Schatz to win. They can kind of focus on the whole package. So that'd be really cool to see going forward.
Yeah, so then the NASCAR race for that weekend was over at Nashville, which was pretty cool. You could see the whole environment was just a big party, classic Nashville. It was pretty cool to see. It was a sold out crowd, which is awesome. I don't know if there's been another sold out crowd yet this year, so pretty cool. They haven't been there in 35 years. Looks like there was a pretty good show. Our
Absolutely.
picks, once again, not the best. You had Demi Hamlin. He ended up 22nd, and he started 13th, where I had Ryan Blaney started 10th and finished 38th.
Yeah, not
But,
so hot.
yeah, star of the show again is Kyle Larson, third in a row. This is his 10th Cup Series win. Man, he is just putting work in with these Cup cars. I don't know what else to say. He's just been so dominant. I think he only lost one stage. He came in third in the first stage. So and then won the second stage and the third, obviously. So pretty impressive. He's been quite the stud lately.
Definitely. One little nugget to add in for Knoxville, or sorry, Knoxville, geez, Nashville is they actually delayed the start time 10 minutes because of the traffic was so crazy. They wanted to wait 10 extra minutes to get fans in the stadium because I guess traffic got so backed up. Fans were getting delayed to get the race, so they didn't want to start the race until some more fans got in. I don't know how much 10 minutes helped anything, but it was kind of crazy. You don't really see that too much these days. Seeing NASCAR having to delay to wait for fans to come in.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's nice that they have that awareness. And also, kind of a big mover that race was Ross Chastain, who ended up in second. He started 19th, so he had a lot of big moves this race. So, pretty exciting race for being the first time back in Nashville.
Absolutely, yeah. Chastain's running the car that Larson was running last year, so interesting to see those guys get one too.
True, yeah.
All right, well, let's slide over to the month of money because it's here. There's some big money getting thrown out here recently or coming up. HUSET'S is Tuesday night, where it's the $30,000 to win race.
Thursday night.
Is that Thursday night?
No, you're right.
I
It's Thursday
think
night.
it's Tuesday night, and so it's all good. But yeah, so they raced at HUSET'S on Monday and Tuesday. Monday night was a 10,000 to win. HUSET'S is 30,000 to win. And if Gravel won on Monday night, so if he can win on Tuesday night, he can get a $100,000 bonus on top of the victory lane payout. So big night for Larson or for Gravel. We'll see how he does.
Yeah, not bad. Cool. And then so since we kind of saw what's kind of happened on the Monday race, so let's just skip on over the Jackson National. How about that?
I mean, I wouldn't mind picking someone for Tuesday night to see if Gravel's going to win or not.
That seems like
Who's
a
going to
good-
get the
good idea.
$30,000?
Sure.
But I'm going to go with Kerry Matz. I hyped him. I hyped him up a little bit earlier. Already said it before. His last average finish is 3. Last 10 finishes is 5. Kerry Matz is my guy for the $30,000 to win at Houston. Chase, who do you have?
I got David Gravel. He's getting the 100K bonus, man. I can see him doing it. He was pretty dominant the last race. Like you said, the Donny Schatz was kind of up on his belt last time, but I think he's gonna has the right setup and the right support for this track for sure. So,
Absolutely. Yep.
and then we'll go on to Jackson National, Jackson Motorplex Speedway, Thursday through Saturday. What 50K to win, right, Hunter?
Yes, sir. Yep. I'm gonna go with for the first night. I'm gonna go with Carson Macedo. He's kind of. It seems like he's really hot, and then kind of hits a bad finish. Like last night or Monday night, I should say. He finished 15th, but like on the 34 Raceway race, he finished second. At Knoxville, he finished couple first. He won back to back at Knoxville. So I have a feeling that Carson Macedo is gonna get one of the wins at Jackson. What do you, Chase?
Yep, I'm gonna go with Brad Sweet. He typically doesn't do well when we pick him, but once again, I think he's just been another top runner all year. He's kind of hard not to pick, and like you said, he's out of his low streak now, so I think he's back in his groove, finding his path. So I think he's gonna be another contender for the win.
I agree. That's actually my second pick. Do you have a second winner? Because it's actually a couple night race show
Yeah,
at
yeah, I'm gonna
Jackson.
go also with Sheldon Haudenschild. He's just a burner, so I always love to see him win. He's my favorite driver to watch right now. So I always kind of leaning towards him to win. Plus, he's been so good lately. I think him and his dad are gonna get that 91.
Absolutely, that's not a bad pick at all. It's always fun to see him win. It just seems like a kind of a cool guy. So absolutely, Holland Child totally cool to see him win. Chase, let's slide over to the Pocono Raceway for the doubleheader for the NASCAR.
Sure, we're going to the Tricky Triangle this weekend. Should be pretty cool. A lot of fun racing. There's I think there's like 6 total races this weekend. I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure the truck, the Xfinity, and the Cups are all doing double headers this weekend. So that track is going to get some serious rubber on it. For my pick, I'm going to go with Kyle Busch. He's been a lot of moves this year. I think he's had 1 win. Also, he's won here 3 times in the past in his career. So I think he's my pick for the first race and second race, or either one. I guess I don't know, first or second.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Then Truex. He won here in 2018. Another hot car this year. He's one of the only few guys that have two wins this year. So those are my 2 picks.
Yeah, 2 good picks. Both of those guys have wins previously at Pocono. They both have a bunch of top 10 and top 5 finishes. So you can't go wrong with those 2 guys. For my picks, I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin. I think I picked him last week as well, but I feel like he's heating up a little bit. He's won at Pocono 6 times, so he's definitely knows how to get it done for sure. So Denny Hamlin's one of my picks, and then I'm going to go with a guy we probably haven't heard of too much this year, but I think Kyle Larson's going to get one of the wins at Pocono Speedway. New guy to the field. He doesn't win much. It'll be cool to see him get the win. He's only won the last 3 races, so
yeah,
I have to imagine Kyle. Yeah, I think he's going to get the win for one of the races.
Yeah, I think it's either the past 5 races he either won or came in second. So
6 races, last 6 races.
6 races, that's what it was. Okay,
going back
impressive.
to Darlington. Yep.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
They flipped a switch because they were kind of rough. I think before Darlington they got a 19th, a 40th. 18th. Yeah, so they definitely, since Darlington, I don't know what they did, but watch out.
Well, if you remember those races too, he was usually when those past races, he was up in second or battling for the 3rd position. Either spun or something happened, and he fell back. So he has always been up there. It's just But yeah, so he's a great contender. But
very good point.
How about we go over to the SRX race and recap, brought to you by Oswego Family Chiropractic.
Chase, let's hear a little bit about Oswego Family Chiropractic.
Sure. Oswego Family Chiropractic is a family-focused, personalized, results-driven chiropractic clinic with a mission to promote the greater health of the Oswego community. Oswego Family Chiropractic is serving Oswego, New York, and the surrounding area. Dr. Barker and Dr. Isaac are committed to providing chiropractic solutions to address your unique needs. Man, that's a tongue twister. Find Oswego Family Chiropractic on Facebook, Instagram, or at OswegoFamilyChiropractic.com. Give us a call at 315-326-0440.
Perfect. All right, so last week at the SRX Series was at Knoxville, the first dirt race ever for the SRX Series. The local guy was Brian Brown. He struggled a little bit. Before we get to that, I'm kind of curious your opinion on this. So since Doug Coby got the win the first week at Stanford, now is it going to change the dynamic of SRX? The local guy is now racing for potentially his career change. A lot of these guys that are racing as the local guy are not full-time racers, so if they get a win like Doug Coby, is that going to change their life? It really might change their life. Doug Coby now got a race in the truck race. Now he's getting the opportunity to prove himself to the whole racing community that he actually is worth paying for him to getting a NASCAR ride. I'm curious if the local guys that are racing with SRX are going to be trying that much harder and maybe do some questionable things now that they know the potential if they do well. What is your take on that?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think they kind of it was an eye opener to those guys. Be like, oh man, this is actually not just a TV show. Could be a career changing event. So I think it's cool. It makes it more competitive. There's a little more gold in the pot now for these guys to really show up and show everybody what they've got, which is great. That's racing. We want everybody out there competing at their best, no matter what race it is. So
absolutely. I guess my thing is but for the other guys, their careers are pretty much were at their peak, and now they're kind of now they're just riding the fame a little bit, and they're racing for $500,000. Whoever wins the points championship, which is $500,000 is a decent amount of money, but to these guys it's kind of like I could buy another RV with it, great, but the local guys, that's their livelihood. So I'm curious how that'll play out. Unfortunately for the local guy this week, Brian Brown, he didn't do very well. He spun it a couple times. He also has never raced a car with fenders on it, so you give him a little break there. But it's just kind of a bummer for him. he actually already has a ride for Knoxville when the truck races get there, so not as much pressure on him. But still interesting to see how the local guy does. Two young guys. I mean, what's her name?
Haley
Deegan
Yep.
and Francis Jr. Both got 1-2. They were chasing down Tony Stewart. I kind of wonder if Tony Stewart was towing with him a little bit. Like he led the whole race. But Deegan got some good runs on him. So it was interesting to see Deegan actually pass Francis. Like kind of towards the end of the race. So it was kind of cool to see the young people get a chance to race against their kind of stars they grew up watching.
Yeah, I also think SRX made a lot of good changes for this race compared to the previous Stanford Speedway race. They had two 12-minute heats instead of 15. The feature race was also 50 laps, but they were allowed to change their the rear tires, which was great, especially with dirt track racing. It seems like they're tearing them up a little bit more, getting a little sideways. What else? Oh, they also the heats that placed them in their starting positions. It was determined by the first heat race, which was good, because obviously in the second race makes more sense. Now they're just fine tuning their setup instead of making the first race kind of just like pointless if you came first because you just get inverted. So yeah. I thought they made good changes. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it also paid off for the TV viewership. If some people saw, hey, I didn't like this in XRX, please change this, and they just kind of ignored them, I bet you the TV numbers would be down lower. But once again, they got 1.2 million viewers. Last week, the opening night, they got 1.3. So it's staying consistent, which is awesome. So NASCAR was above them with 2.6 million viewers. And then it was interesting to see that Formula One and IndyCar were both lower than them. IndyCar had 800,000 viewers, and F1 had 1.1. Then again, F1 US viewership has never been that great, but still cool to see the SRX is up there, beating a couple people for viewership on TV, and that's all comes down to money. So maybe we'll get a long-term deal. Next race for SRX is at Eldora Speedway, so be similar to Knoxville. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out for them.
Yeah, should be pretty good. I'm excited. That's gonna be maybe I think a little higher viewership rate because if it's Eldora, Tony Stewart, it's kind of a bigger track. Everyone knows it. But how about we pop on over to the Steel Palace Minute?
Sure. So yeah, this week at the Steel Palace Oswego Speedway was the Twin 35s. Unfortunately, the night ended with an aggressive storm. Midway through the night, they got one 35-lap race in. The other race will be made up on July 10th. The first race was won by Otto Siddeley, and the good news is I picked him, so it was a good pick for me. He started 15th, so he had a heck of a run. There was an early crash with a lot of the top runners crashing out, so that might have helped Otto a little bit. Chase, you had Thompson, and was he involved in that crash? He finished 10th, so he possibly was. He started 17th, so Tyler Thompson got beat up early in that crash.
Yeah, I also had Otto for the second race, so I guess I
won see, too. Sorry for taking another fame on that one, but I just got excited. So we both had to get picks. Like I said, that second race we made up July 10th. Next weekend, Oswego Speedway is off. And, well, Chase, I think that will wrap up today's episode of the Slide Job Racing Podcast. Fans, thank you for listening, and Chase for sharing your insights and your picks for this upcoming racing. Fans, join us again next week